Hi, good morning. I am doing a video because I recently got a chance to do like a small little snippet of a word or a message in Ben Harbor at the conference Do It for the True Vine at Refreshing Fountain. That was really great. And I'm always being, I guess you could say, um, refined or retuned after every time that I speak. Take these sunglasses off. After every time that I speak, and one thing that the Holy Spirit was reminding me of is a portion of the text where I didn't get to necessarily spend a lot of time on, so I'm doing a video on it because I think that it should be addressed and I think that it's a good word. And I wish I could have had really like focused in on it a little bit, but you can kind of call this part two of that message. I don't know. If you weren't there, it's okay because this is good. Okay, so I'm going from 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 38 through 39, and I'm going to read it to you. And if you can, you should go look it up because this passage is really good. But it says, Then Saul, and I'm reading in the NIV version, it says, Then Saul dressed David in his own tunic. So that's important. He dressed him in his own tunic. So he tried to put his armor on David. He put a coat of armor on him and a bronze helmet on his head. Verse 39 says, David fastened on his sword over his tunic and tried to walk around because he was not used to them. Then David told Saul, I cannot go in these, he said to Saul, because I am not used to them. So he took them off. Okay, so I really like this because for a lot of people, and specifically myself, we have been taught traditions and customs that we are to put on, but they're not necessarily for us. And so there's things that somebody else will walk in that you won't necessarily walk in. Does that mean you're wrong? Or does that mean they're wrong? No. Does that mean that if they're doing something that you may not necessarily be used to or accustomed to, that they're doing it wrong? Absolutely not. And I think for young people specifically, because David in this moment, he was a young guy. He was small, and so he was already underestimated. So Saul was trying to give him all of his wisdom and all of his armor, which didn't work for David because David had already been out in the field. He had already been killing lions and tigers and bears, and he had already been doing work for God. And so when it's time for David to step up and be like, no, I can actually do this, all of a sudden Saul wants to put on his ideas and put on his armor or whatever you want to call it into David, and David was like, what? No, I can't do this. So that's just encouragement for you to know that that specifically young people, and I want to shout out for the seasoned saints who've been in it for a while. Don't underestimate young people because they may not look as though they're on fire as they are. They may not look a certain way how you want them to look, but don't underestimate the lions and the tigers and the bears that they've already been killing, the giants that they've already been killing. Then when it comes time for them to be exposed to the public, and now it's time for them to come up against the Philistine or the specific area of harm in that moment for all the world to see, then all of a sudden you want to try to put on your customs and traditions when no, God has already been working on them. God is already working on this generation. God is already working on the Davids and the Jeremiahs and the Joshuas to make sure that they are fighting those lions and fighting those bears and fighting those tigers. So when it comes time for the Philistine, or when it comes time for them to actually be exposed to the world, they're ready. So young people, you're ready. Seasoned saints, thank you for encouraging us and keeping us in your prayers. I'm excited because it's not about what other people try to add on to you. It's about what you've been doing in your prayer closet, in your personal time with God, that He has been preparing you for the time that you will meet up with your Philistine. In other words, for the time that you will meet up with your destiny, for all the world to see what you've been packing and what you've been working with all along. Okay, God bless you. I hope that that is encouraging to you, and I will continue to be an encouragement as long as the Lord wills. God bless you, baby.